So I have a pretty good indicator of when someone is lying or if they're smearing someone in an unethical way. And one of the ways you can tell if there is a coordinated smear team that is doing something to smear someone, okay? And here's how you would do it is what you can hear. This is how you know it. If you hear people saying the same things over and over and over again about one person or one group or one whatever, then and then you hear it from another place where it's the same words said over and over again, and then another place, and then another place, like different news outlets or different social media sites or different friends or whatever, it usually means that there's a smear going on. And some people are doing the smear and some people are believing the smear. But this is how you get out of believing when there's a smear, okay? So for me, when they're saying the same things, that's how I know it's a coordinated effect to make people think a certain way. And that's when I go, okay, let me investigate that and see who that person or that situation or that thing is, independent of what these people say. So I go to the actual source. I go, if they are saying, if they are saying something, I listen to what they're saying. If they are mentioning a study, I go look up that study myself so I can see if what they're saying is accurate or not. If they're talking about some kind of data, I go look at that data myself. And that is part of how I look things up. You know, if somebody's mentioned something, if they've been smeared, I want to go see if what they're saying makes sense to me or not. And the other thing I do that helps me is I go to source material. A lot of source material is in the Freedom of Information Act because people have had to sue to get it because sometimes people are not overtly generous in giving their information away. So I go and I find the Freedom of Information Act and I read them, maybe not all of them because some of them are hundreds of thousands of pages, but I read a lot of it and then I make my own decision. So I'm not hearing the spin from a newspaper or from a magazine or from a regulatory agency or from a anything. You know, I don't hear the spin because I'm just reading what is in the Freedom of Information Act. And I don't get somebody to interpret it for me unless there's something I don't understand. But usually if it's about biological sciences, I have a good sense of it because I was pre-med and I've read so many studies. But, you know, I just look at it and it makes sense or it doesn't. And if it doesn't make sense, I might ask somebody to help me understand it a little bit better. But I make sure it's somebody that is not going to spin me, if that makes sense. Give me spin. That's how I do it. It helps me. And because of that, I have been guided to know when something is true and when something is false. And I have been guided to be in a place of peace because I'm not trying to figure it out or anything. I just go, oh, there's a pattern. And when that pattern's being pushed at people, propagandized, if you will, that means to me, I'm not going to go with that pattern. It's simple. Arrivederci. My name is Karen Laurie. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a magical day.